Hello, hello, hello. My name is Abby Tyler. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Abby Tyler's Healthy Living Tuesday show. Sorry for the delay. My name is Abby Tyler. I'm a practicing family nurse practitioner and video voluntary community volunteer. Please share the video. Okay. Please share. Please share. As always, I'm going to start disclaimer, whatever I say here, make sure that you check with your doctor before making any changes to your regimen. So that been said, we're going to start. Today's topic is emergency preparedness. What do you have? Do you have a safety first aid kit, and what do you have in it? So I am going down doing different things. That I'm standing up a little bit here so I can get this. So hopefully in the future I can have something where I can be able to see everything else. But anyways, first aid kit is an important thing to have around in case of an emergency. Your first aid kit should be accessible, easily accessible, and but at the same time it should be not be in the reach of children. So you just have to make sure that you keep it somewhere safe where you as the adult or the responsible teen can get to it if you need to. Okay, so this is not comprehensive, and they're making sure I'm talking about medication. Usually, you guys know I don't usually tell what kind of medications to take, and you also have to make sure you check with your doctor first before taking any of these medications. Even though they're over the counter, it still can have a problem later on in case if you take it, if you have any allergies and all that. Okay, so some of the things that you want to have in your first aid kit. I have a couple of first aid kit. I used to take that to our fair, our health fair during the week, during Labor Day, and also for our city fair every once in a while during the Halloween fair. Sorry, autumn fair. Anyway, so sorry, I'm a little flustered because I didn't come on too early. But this is the little one that I had. This is the I keep couple around. So this is the one from Johnson and Johnson Medicine Network. So this is the one that I usually have, and it has some bugs. But because I do the health fair and I have the all the health background, and also I usually have a whole lot more, and I have a bigger bag that I carry with me. So let's start. You want to make sure you have your safety first aid kit. You want to have it somewhere like in the bathroom. You can keep it in the bathroom. You can keep it in the kitchen. You can keep it in the car if you have a boat, workshop, garage, because you want to have at least maybe one or two to have around place. Playground in the classroom, you also want to have it at the church. Usually, most places have that, anyways. Also, when you're outside the house, if you have your phone, you can always have like a phone in your car that you don't have to have any kind of plan and all that. To everybody, it's mandatory that every phone that is available should have 911 capability, so make sure you have that in the car. Usually in my car I usually have like a blanket and other things in the car just in case, like during the weather, inclement weather, and you're stuck in there. So some of the things you want to have in your car, you think you want to have in your safety kit. Let me go over here. Okay, so start off, I'm going to put on my glasses. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So you want to have your acetaminophen. The brand name is Tylenol. So you want to have that. You want to make sure you follow the manufacturer's instructions. And I'll already give my disclaimer that you want to make sure you check with your doctor if it's safe to take that. So you can have that in, or you can have the ibuprofen. The ibuprofen also, mostly for like if you have inflammation and the kind of swelling and all that, that kind of helps with that. Okay, you want to also make sure you have your tweezers. So just in case there's any bugs and all that, you want to be able to take it from the skin. And most of the time, they tell you when you take the bugs from the skin, put in a little container, a little jar, cover it up in case if you have to go to the hospital so they can see what it is. Alrighty, you want to have alcohol wipes, lots and lots of alcohol wipes. Okay, so you want to cleanse the area. You don't want to put this on an open sore. It's just that if you were doing any kind of insulin or stuff like that to cleanse the area, to sanitize the area, but you don't want to put that on an open sore because when we're younger, they just put that on the sore. That's not astringent. You don't want to do that. So you want to have some alcohol. You want to have your bandages. Okay, bandages, you can have different kinds, different sizes and all that too. They have pretty little colors that kind of matches the skin color too, so that's kind of nice. You want to have your antiseptic hand and also hand sanitizer. You can have that close by because once you get into stuff, you'll be touching bare skin. You want to make sure your hands are clean. If you're not touching bare skin, but you always want to make sure your hands clean if you're going to be doing any kind of work with anybody. Already, hand sanitizer. You want to have your tape. in case if you have to when you put bandage on and you have to tape something, or you have to tape a band-aid, you want to make sure you have that in your safety kit. You will probably have to have like a good size safety kit, because you don't want to just have a tiny ones, and you don't have to have everything in there, but you just do the best that you can. Already, elastic bandages in case if you have to, if there's any kind of breakage, or you have to apply a lot of pressure to something. When they say, apply pressure to any kind of wound to stop it from bleeding, this is really good, because when you put it there, it just kind of goes on and it sticks real easily, and you don't have to have the little pins or anything. But if you want to just hold it a little better, you can just put a little tape on there. So elastic bandages. Also, these are clings. Also, we use that in the hospital. You can have that to kind of, like I said, to make sure you can apply that when you're wrapping your wound, to wrap that around the wound. You want to do that. And I told you the bandages, the elastic bandages, and you want to have insect bites swab. You want to make sure you have that when you're, making sure that the insect. I don't have that here. Triple antibiotic ointment. You want to have that. The other name, the brand name is Neosporin. So you always want to have that in case. All these things, make sure you're following your doctor's advice, and also for manufacturers of hydrocortisone cream. So you want to have that because of anti-itch. So in case if you go in the woods and you're playing around with poison ivy and things like that, you can apply that during the time and also when you're out. Wound cleanser or hydrogen peroxide. This is the one I have, and you can also have that. Like I said, don't wash any wounds with alcohol. You want to make sure you take this and cleanse around the wound nicely, leave it dry a little bit before you, and by this time, of course, you would have been speaking to somebody who is training all this. But when you're home, just little. So this is, and just remember, this is for mild and minor emergency preparedness. Anything that's serious, somebody's bleeding heavily or not breathing or anything like that, you want to make sure you call 911. But in case if the person's bleeding and you have to apply pressure before the ambulance comes, you don't just leave it there. You have to do that first. Okay, you want to have your bottled water. Always have water with you. You can use that to also wash dirt away from the wound. You can have that in case if the person needs to drink right away. Have several bottled waters in your car and the house. Always have it at all times. So in case if you have to run and get it. You can have some electrolytes like Gatorade and things in the car too. They water electrolyte drinks. So I have that in the car. So you can do that. Also, you want to have a pair of scissors. Okay. So you can, it's got to be medical grade scissors, so you're not getting the one that you cut, you can easily harm yourself. So just go ahead and cut that nicely and have that at all times with it. And for diabetic, you want to make sure, like some people have like that, peanut butter in their car or something like that, where if you have to hurry up and grab it and eat it. And also triangular bandages, because these are the ones that you have to, if you're putting that on your head, it has to be able to form a head wound. You want to get way high goes on. This bandages doesn't go around completely. This one can go and kind of curve around to where it keep any kind of problems. Again, you want to make sure that if there's any kind of serious emergency, hopefully somebody trained would be around, or you've called 911 at this time. You also want to have a thermometer, because if you're taking the temperature, so just in case, if they ask you, you can say what's the person temperature right now, and when you're speaking to the 911 person, you have that. But if it's just like if you're home and somebody has like a little code, you can take the temperature, and then if you call the doctor's office and say, this is the temperature, do you want me to come in, or what do you want me to do? All right. Always have an ice pack too, because if there's any kind of broken bones or anything, the first thing they tell you is the rice thing. You want to stay in the area. You want to rest, and elevate, and you also apply the ice and elevate. Okay. So by then you'll be applying all that, and some other wipes like antiseptic wipes. And you also want gloves, because you don't want to be touching anybody whose body is like bleeding, or any kind of body and body fluids. You don't want to be touching that, because if you come in contact with that, you can also people get hepatitis or any kind of diseases that can be transferred to the body fluids. You don't want that to happen. This is also like a bandage. So in case if you don't want to put the little ones on there where they're going to get wet and the kids want to go run back outside and play, you can put that on. It does sting a little bit though, so you have to tell them to say, I just scrub your teeth a little bit, or just squeeze on something real quick until I pull it there, and it stays there and it dries off after a while. The good thing about this also, you also want to have like an anti-nausea thing too. Remember, this is all like if you're home, all right? And the good thing about this, that Johnson and Johnson kit that I just showed, it comes with a nice little booklet where you can just go in there and have all this information. It gives you, assessing the situation, breathing problems, broken bones. Of course, again, if you're not well versed in this, you want to make sure you call 911 before all this. But this is just for like regular when you're in a house and things are happening in the household. You also want to have like a little notebook. So in case if you're writing down anything, and if you were on the phone to 911, or if you were just talking, you have that, so you're not remembering when you're on the phone talking to your doctor's office, oh, what was the temperature again, what was this again. Somebody could be doing that and you could be writing it down. And of course, those of us who are in the health field, we usually have our blood pressure cuff. We have much more than that over here, but this is just basic for everybody to have. All right. And then also when you put down for in case of emergency, who to meet in case of emergency, in my phone I have the ice, like ICE in case of emergency, and I have that right next to my like my husband's name and then my children's name. So in case if anything happens to me, if I happen to be somewhere, they can just look in my phone and see the first couple of people to call. Because usually what they will do, they'll call the last person that you call. What if the last person you call was your employer or a friend? So you want to make sure you do that. And if they came to your house, they'll be looking all over for your medication. So some of the medical emergent information you want to have a little pad with your full name, your birth date. Okay, you want to have your current medications, instructions. You want to make sure your medication list of instructions saying take this medication, name of this medication, take this medication, instructions, full instructions. So when you have that, it's all written down somewhere. You're not, they're not looking at, blue pill. And some people don't keep all their medications in the original bottle. They have like their little daily pill, but you also want to, that's the reason why you should have this somewhere so somebody can see that and make sure somebody else also has it, like it's a family member or if your spouse, they have that. If you just take that, like I said, you can take a picture of it and just put it in your phone. So at least that way somebody else can have it with you, because, and they have secret apps so you can protect all that information. Okay. Go back and watch my medication safety videos. I'm going to try to put that in the comment section over here. Also, when you put that on there, you want to list your allergies, list your serious allergies first, as well as the allergies to the materials and everything, including latex, seasonal allergies, food allergies. If you have, let's say, if you take Tylenol, and what happens, maybe I just, I don't like Tylenol because it makes me feel, bad. That's different. And, as opposed to saying, if I take Tylenol, I get severe rash, I can't breathe and all that. So all of that, you want to make sure you put the serious allergies first and then say the reaction to the allergy and go on from there. Alrighty. Chronic medical conditions. You want to list things like your diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure. If you have seizures, you will also want to list that. It's good to also have the bracelet, and like the bracelet that if anything should happen, sometimes they can look in there and say this patient's a diabetic. Because if you lay down and they come in there and they think, okay, what if she's just drunk, right? What if she just laying there? Other people might not see that, like a paramedic will probably know that, or somebody training it would be like, okay, maybe this person has some medical thing going on. Other people say, oh, maybe they're just strong, maybe they're just this, maybe they're just tired. Your blood sugar could be dropping low, you could be having a heart attack, all of that, you could be having a stroke, all of that. Like, again, like I said, certain things kind of mimic different diseases, and you're not always going to be like, oh my god, my heart, especially when they get there, when you're laying there and you can't speak on, for yourself. So make sure you have all that. The emergency, again, the emergency contact names and phone numbers. I'll also say, like, put that there, the emergency contact name, John Doe, husband, the number, Mary Doe, mother, this and that. So the people important, especially if you have minor children, don't list the minor children first. List your adult relative first. That's why it's important that if you're not married and you have minor children, always make sure you have a family member or a friend who's an adult that's going to be helping you to make this decision, or make decisions on your behalf. So always have that written down. Okay, do not include your social security number because they could just leave you open for theft. Okay, and also if you're dialysis, most dialysis people, when they're in a hospital, we have a little bracelet saying no dialysis in this arm. But when you're out in the field, when you're doing your regular stuff, most people don't wear dialysis. So it's important to also have a little band stating that you have dialysis, because people have the dialysis access in the arm. If you don't have it in your chest area, most people do have it in the arm. They could have one in the chest area, so they can say that and say, oh, okay, she doesn't have the permanent one yet, so let's go to that arm. But that arm could be waiting to get dialysis access, or the dialysis access could be in that arm, and they don't know that, and they do blood pressure, and that could severely ruin the graft that's there and cause you much more harm. So you want to make sure you have that. And also, I think most adults also have the bracelet, also the little banding where you can call for emergency. I said back in the day, used to say, help, I'm falling, I can't get up. So you can just press the button, and then you don't have to worry about reaching to the phone. It goes directly to the company that is monitoring that, and it goes right to 911, and you can get help right away. So even if you're laying there and they don't hear from you, they can always just break the door open and come in and talk to you and get you the help that you need. Okay. So again, like I said, a nice booklet, you can get that, or you can just there's so many different things online that you can get for free, or just, do your own. And it'll also be nice to, advise you guys to try to get like a first aid class done. They teach you how to do CPR. They can teach you just all these things that I told you about. They can tell you the importance of it, go into more detail. And if you don't, people saying, okay, I don't want to be doing CPR. I'm not putting my mouth to somebody else's mouth and all. This is the CPR, the face shield where you can just cover the person's mouth. Okay. And this all came in the bag that I bought, and just cover the person's mouth. And then you just go ahead and start doing the breath. So get the person back. All right. So it looks like that. You can get that at any drugstore, where you cover the person's mouth. So nothing, when you're breathing through there, nothing's coming back to you. But even the most important thing, like they say, even if you're doing that, and you don't even have to do like the mouth to mouth. The first important thing, you see the person there, the person that's Mister, you okay? Nope. Start compression. Just go, because the most important thing, you want to make sure that the heart is perfusing, meaning that the blood is flowing, because you don't want any kind of cessation, meaning you just shouldn't stop at all. So just continue going. By this time, of course, you've already called 911, especially if you're alone. You want to call 911, because when you're doing that compression, trust me, people get tired very easily. I don't care how strong you are and how strong your upper body is. You get tired after 2 minutes of going continuously. You get tired. So the first thing you want to do is call 911, and then the operator will tell you what it is you're doing. And don't start without calling 911, because, like I said, you don't want to get tired, and then the time you have to recoup and start, that person could be dying. So call 911 right away and start with the compression. You don't have to do mouth to mouth. They will tell you, you don't have to do mouth to mouth. Get on that chest and start doing compression right away. Okay. Finish up there. So it's important to make sure you check with your PCP. Make sure that it's safe for you to take any of these medications. But most of these here are like just regular first aid kit thing. But again, with medication, you could be allergic to Tylenol, which the generic name is Acetaminophen, or you could be allergic to Ibuprofen, or you could have some issues where you bleed easily, or you have some liver issues or kidney issues that you're not allowed to take that. So of course, you want to bring that action doctor first. Say, you know what, I was watching, and they said I can check on and see what's going on there, and they want me to know if I can have these things. And your doctor, you guys can go over and talk about it some more. All right. And that's often most important thing. Not most important. They're all important. You want to make sure you check periodically for the expiration dates. Most of them will have the expiration dates right inside. It will tell you like the month and the year. Okay, so they usually don't go to exact dates of the month of the year. You want to check this put that on your phone. Like, say, okay, I know I haven't used my first aid kit. I haven't had to use it. I just use my thermometer. Make sure you have your extra batteries for your thermometer too, if it works on battery. And most thermometers now, because they want to use to shake before and put that in your mouth, it had the mercury in it. That's not safe. People biting on it and causing damage to their bodies. So you want to check that periodically and say, let me just check to see if my Tylenol has gone off, my ibuprofen has expired. Some of these things also expired. Hand sanitizer is also expired. So don't think that you can that is safe for you to take if you have to take it. All right. So make sure you check that. check your, if you make sure always have flashlights around also, because just in case if there's power outage and you need first aid kit, you have a flashlight, have your battery. If you have the battery close by, have it close by, because some people don't keep their batteries in the flashlight. They just take it off and when they need to use it. So make sure you have it close by in the same bag, preferably in the same bag or right in your first aid kit together. Have everything together where everybody knows where it is. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you don't, the children are not using, or children can get to it. Okay. And let me see that also you want to the gauze over time when you keep that for a while. That can become a little dry up, especially like your alcohol pads. That can become a little dry and can be a little irritating. And plus, if it's dry, it's not doing you any good. So you want to try to get that. Most of these things you can get them from the dollar store, or you can get them right from Walmart. Get like a whole safety kit from Walmart as well. And your doctor can also, for those people with Medicare, Medicaid, lower income, or just, it's costs a little bit of money. And you may say, I don't have that right now, but you just gotta add a little bit time and time and time, and over time you have what you need. So I think I covered everything. I'll tell you about the tape, right? Okay, so basically, just to summarize again, make sure you have a safety kit, make sure that is well furnished, that you have all the necessary things in there. Again, this is not comprehensive, so you can talk to your doctor. And also, if you have other issues, specific illnesses that require you to have a little bit more, like if you're diabetic, you always have your peanut butter at the side, unless if you have peanut allergies. So especially if your children have peanut allergies, make sure it's not where they can reach it. Have juices around. That's something that expires easily, and just have that with you. I usually have that have that in my car. My kids are grown now, but it's just recently that I stopped having snacks and certain things in my bag or in my car, because I always think that God forbid something happened, I want to be able to give them stuff even though they're like grown people. But have that in your car as well. Have a nice little smaller safety kit in the car too, gloves and all. Having masks, because just in case if something happens and you have to do compression in person and you're afraid that person's going to be breathing in your face, forget about the COVID part, the breathing in your face. You want to make sure that you're covering yourself, because all of that, tuberculosis, anything that's easily transmissible through the air, you can be breathing right that in. So have all that checked periodically to make sure that nothing has been expired. Your scissors, make sure it's clean, make sure it's covered up. Again, CPR, you don't have to worry about mouth to mouth. You can just go right ahead, right to compression, but you also want to make sure that you've already called 911. I'll advise you guys to also do the first aid class. You can ask your doctor. They have different ones. Your insurance companies provides ones where they can give you very very low, especially if you're a member, they can low cost ones. Some of them are free. They have some at your hospitals, because some hospitals can do it for free. That's part of the community services. They do that for the community that they serve. And again, make sure you check in periodically to make sure nothing is expired. All right. And have that. Most important thing, like I said, have this little, when you, if you buy the first A1, have that with you. So you have some information in there, and then have some stuff in your phone. They have, like I said, secret apps to making sure that you're not that way, if you can say it and they'll be like, oh my god, no, 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 please don't give her that, she's allergic to that. So everybody else is following through, and all of this is to keep you guys safe. It's to keep all of us safe. So I usually try to do and tell family members that, I try to tell friends that, and that's something that we kind of go through also. When you go to your doctor's office, just say, I was watching and it says something about having a safety kit, and I just want to make sure. And your thermometer, please make sure you have your thermometer and the batteries are charged all the time, or have extra batteries close by. Again, most of these things can be bought cheaply from Walmart, or you can buy it from Amazon and just have at least one or two if you live in a two-level house somewhere, one in the car or one somewhere or two. And if you have parents are not together, have one at dad's house, have one at mom's house, or have one at grandma's house. Whoever they go to and is spending most of the other time there, make sure that they have it. Okay, so I think I covered all. Again, I just have this little one if I need to, but I have a whole lot of other ones too, because I have my stethoscope. I have everything else that I can do when I do my health fairs. I do blood pressure, and also when I have at my house and people come to my house and I'm doing stuff. Making sure hand sanitizer. Okay, it's very important that if you touch it, making sure your face is not close by, so it have that in your hand, and make sure it's there. I can tell you for a fact, 20 years ago, I was pregnant and I did this and I pressed a hand sanitizer, the one that's on the wall, and it splashed in my eye and I screamed bloody murder for, oh, they had to like flush my eye out. So if that happens, make sure you just don't just wipe it off. Get that water and just keep pouring and pouring and pouring. It burns like the dickens. It's like one of the worst feeling in the world. So you want to make sure your kids, if they're using hand sanitizer, even if they're pouring it in their hand, that is not close to the eyes. So I went through that. And then 3 weeks ago, my son and I were over the post office and I reached over for it. Well, he reached for it and I was staying close by. I literally, within seconds of me saying, oh, let me move, I stood there and it just went right directly in my eye again, for my poor left eye. And I screamed bloody murder. The whole post office was like, whoa. And it's like my eyes were closed. My son said, oh my God, I was so embarrassed for you. I'm like, I didn't care what I was, I did not care. I just wanted, I'm like, oh my God, give me water, give me water, give me water, give me water, give me water. So they had to walk me into the back and give me like putting the water in. I'm like the whole floor. I mean, I couldn't even see. I washed my eyes. So please make sure that all these things, they can be in astringent and hand sanitizer. You want to make sure that you're not close by to it. Whenever you're using it, please make sure. And if it's in your house where the kids close by to it, at the hospital, I remember when I sprayed my eyes, they moved it down a little bit so it's not at eye level. But even if they have it in their hand, it's very important. And if that goes into your eye, make sure you flush out the eye as much as possible. And then just let them say that you can put like a cool compress just to kind of take the temperature back. But if they have problems after that, saying I can't see and something in my eyes are blurry, straight to the emergency room. Okay, so straight to the emergency room and do that. So I'm sorry that I came a little late, but technical issues. You know how it is. But so if you like what I've said here so far today, please give me a thumbs up. Give a thumbs up. Share the video, share the video, share the video. I didn't get the chance to share any video any there. I just realized that because but share the video. And also for those of you who are not family members who are not on Facebook, I'm on YouTube and I'm on Twitter also. Please again, also comment. I really appreciate the interaction. So if you guys can comment and ask me any more questions, regardless of if somebody has already asked a unique clarification, please do that. Okay, let me just see what it says here. Oh, Albert Moore, how you doing? Thank you. Say hi to the family. Alrighty. So again, so make sure that you guys are taking good care of yourselves and have that. And if you have any questions, again, comment below, subscribe, and please, if you haven't liked it for me, like and follow for more information. And I'm usually on Tuesdays, and my regular Fridays chat with Abby will be on Friday. I still haven't decided yet what time, but still going to probably be 5 or 6 o'clock. So until we see the next time again, please stay safe, take care of each other, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye bye. Good night.